Hello everybody and welcome back to the second tutorial of actually coding our ARP spoofer, and let us see what we can do in order to fix a few things with our program, such as actually forwarding the packets as we run the ARP spoofer. So let us nano our ARP spoofer.py. Here is our program which we coded in the next video, and let's actually code a function that will restore both the IP address, the MAC addresses in the ARP tables of Windows 10 and in the ARP tables of our router, since as soon as we finish making our program or running our program, we want to actually restore everything back to normal so the target PC and the router doesn't actually lose the connection. So in order to do that, we can make a function which will basically restore everything. We will call it restore. In that function, what we actually want to have is the IP address of our target and the IP address of our router. So we will just set it right here. Destination underscore IP and the source underscore IP. So we make this function right here. All we want to select right here is actually getting the real MAC addresses from our targets. So we want to actually get target MAC from the destination IP, which is the IP of our router in the first case and the IP of our Windows 10 in the second case. And we want to do that for the both machines. So let me just show you how we can do that. We get MAC or get target MAC from the destination underscore IP. We will actually put that into our target MAC address, since this will be the real MAC address of our target, and the source MAC address will be the source MAC address of the actual router in the second case. So get target MAC source underscore IP. All we want to do right now is actually send the packets with these two values. So packet equals scapy.send. Pardon me, not scapy.send. We first of all need to create the packet before we actually run it. We only created the MAC addresses. So open and close this. We make sure that it is a response. We select the P destination to be equal to the destination of the router's IP. The hardware destination equals the target MAC variable that we got with our get target MAC function, and the P source equals to the actual source IP underscore IP, as well as the hardware source equals to the source MAC. And all we want to do right now is actually scapy.send this packet. So we want to send this packet, and we want to set, as usual, where both equals false. So all we have to do right now is, as soon as we actually close our program, we want to run the restore function on these two MAC IP addresses. So we run it on both our Windows 10 and on both the routers. So restore also the Windows 10 machine. We need to perform 2 times this function for each of the machines. And then we can actually exit the program. So everything should be good to go. Let me just double check everything. Now, in order, if you actually wanted to target multiple machines, you can just put this in, for example, for I in range 1 to 255, you can just make this, instead of the 1, to be, for example, the plus string of I, or something like that. You can just put it in an actual loop in order to actually spoof multiple targets, but we won't be really doing that right now. All we want to do is actually see how the ARP spoofer works, and in order to understand the process behind this a lot better than before. So everything should be good to go. All I have to show you right now is actually how to forward the packets once you start ARP spoofing. As you saw in the previous video, we weren't really able to connect to the internet. So let us save this, save it with Ctrl O, and in order to forward the packets, there is a file Let me just remember how it is called. Okay, so the file was cat proc sys, the net. Let me just see. So we want to go IPv4, IPv forward. Okay, so that is the file. Let me just clear the screen. So if you cat the proc sys net IPv4 and then IP forward, you get this 0 in that file, which means we are not forwarding the packets. But if you echo into that file, so let me just show you, if you just write echo 1 and then the arrow to right, if you press enter on this path and you cat it once again, right now we have 1 in that file, which means we are forwarding the packets. So if we run our ARP spoofer once again with the arpspoofer.py, everything is running smoothly. Now, first of all, before we go to the internet, let us try to run the ARP-A in order to see if we successfully spoofed the MAC address. As you can see, we still didn't, but if I run once again, right now the MAC address is spoofed. And right now, in the previous video, as you saw, we weren't able to access the internet, but if we click right here once again, we open the Google Chrome from our target PC. We, for example, want to run the twitter.com. All the packets will go through our Kali Linux machine, and we will be able to load the page, and we will not know anything that is going on around us. We will not know that our packets are being sniffed at, or not sniffed at yet, but being ARP spoofed, and that are going through a whole different machine before actually reaching the router itself. So we actually got the response. The only way for us to actually check that out if we are being ARP spoofed is to run the ARP-A command and to see that we have a MAC address right here which shouldn't be there. As you can see, the first alarm would be that we actually have 2 IP addresses that have the same MAC address, which isn't really possible. So that would be the first way for you to find out how that you are actually being ARP spoofed. So that would be about it for this video. We successfully coded our ARP spoofer, but before we actually close this video, let me see if I just press Ctrl-C and open my command prompt once again. Let's see if our router MAC address actually returned back to normal. And as we can see, it did. So the MAC address returned back to normal. So once we actually start running this program, the target will not notice anything, since we actually made a restore function which will restore back the true MAC addresses of the target and of the router. So that would be about it for the ARP spoofer. We will continue coding in the next lecture. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in the next tutorial. Bye!